In 1965, a cartoon aired on American television. It featured no superheroes, no spaceships, no iconic catchphrases, just a family of mumbling, rifle-toting bears living deep in the woods. It lasted one season, only 26 episodes, and then it should have faded into obscurity, but it didn't. It lingered, repackaged, replayed, rerun for decades. So the question is no longer, what was this show? The real question is, why did they keep showing it to us? Welcome to the Maybe Files, where nostalgia gets weird. The Rugg family. Pa, Ma, Floral, and Shag. They live in a shack. They bicker. They shoot things. They don't understand much, and they don't really want to.
Follow me!
The humor is built around one idea. These bears are stupid and violent, and that's funny. The dad can't speak clearly. They're not just cartoon characters. They're avatars of poverty, rural isolation. The American South boiled down to shotgun blasts and bad grammar. And someone decided that should be a children's cartoon. The Hillbilly Bears wasn't created in a vacuum. It was part of a much bigger obsession with rural, Southern, and Appalachian caricatures. Starting in the late 1950s and exploding into the 60s, America was flooded with shows like The Beverly Hillbillies and Green Acres, built on the idea that poor rural Americans are lovable, laughable, and always just a little behind the times. So when Hanna-Barbera introduced the Hillbilly Bears, they weren't breaking new ground. They were cashing in on a proven, profitable stereotype, this time in cartoon form. And by putting it in a children's show, they made sure that stereotype had a very long shelf life.
Put some dynamite in the lunchbox.
Pa Rugg doesn't solve problems. He doesn't reflect. He doesn't grow. What he does in nearly every episode is shoot his rifle into the ceiling, at the sky, at nothing. And it's always funny. The message is clear. Violence is comedy. Especially when it comes from people you're not supposed to relate to. It's an old man in a rotting house firing randomly while grunting. This isn't a cowboy shootout. It's not a hero's journey. It's an old man in a rotting house firing randomly while grunting. Why is this the thing they chose to preserve and rerun for children over 3 decades?
There's a friend gone, and no good fish.
In the 1960s, America was in cultural upheaval. Civil rights, war, suburbia rising, cities swelling, and a growing anxiety about the rural other. At that exact moment, Hanna-Barbera aired a cartoon that told millions of children, here's what poor white people are like. They're dumb, they're dirty, they're armed, and they'll never change. What better way to make people feel better about where they are on the American ladder than by showing them what the bottom looks like and making sure it's laughable? In 1965, the same year the Hillbilly Bears premiered, President Lyndon B. Johnson declared a national war on poverty. The spotlight turned toward Appalachia, rural America, as a symbol of everything America needed to fix. Suddenly, the nation was inundated with photos of barefoot children, collapsing cabins, and dirt roads. The message? Look at how bad it is, and look at what we're doing to help. At the same time, Cold War propaganda was in full swing. America was constantly comparing itself to the Soviet Union, claiming freedom, prosperity, and the good life. So what did it mean to air a cartoon that made the American poor look hopelessly backward?
Well, I just done it, you hear?
Was it just a joke? Or was it subtle reassurance? Yes, we have poverty, but don't worry, these people don't want better. They're content. They're violent. They feud with their neighbors for no reason. They reject change. They're not like you. And that neighbor feud? It wasn't just slapstick. It was a way to say, see, they don't even work together. They fight each other. They hold themselves back. Was the Hillbilly Bears just a silly cartoon? Or was it a low-key form of cultural gaslighting? A way to flatten real economic struggle into banjo-fueled background noise?
Well, I got a big family and we won't miss them.
Ma Rugg cooks, nags, and then vanishes. floral dreams of something better, and is ridiculed for it. In the Hillbilly Bears, women don't grow. They either endure or get dismissed. At a time when second-wave feminism was gaining momentum, this cartoon suggested, why bother? Wanting more makes you naive. Smart girls are silly. You belong in the cabin with the bears and the bullets. And remember, this was still being shown to kids well into the 1990s.
I might have knowed it. He's fast asleep.
The image was clear: a family in the hills, unintelligent, aggressive, dysfunctional, and doomed. And kids across America watched that image for generations. So ask yourself, what were we being taught? That poverty is funny? That people in rural communities are dangerous? That if you're born into ignorance, you belong there? What if this show wasn't about the characters at all? Maybe it was about you and what you were supposed to believe.
I'm gonna get out.
I still gotta clean out your ears, Paul.
The Hillbilly Bears wasn't a juggernaut. It didn't change the world. But that's exactly why it matters. Because it didn't have to be a blockbuster to leave a mark. It just had to be there, quietly, consistently, rerun in the background of our lives. We laughed, we forgot, we remembered, then we forgot again. But while we were watching talking bears shoot rifles in shacks and argue over nothing, what were we learning without realizing it? That poverty is a personality flaw? That rural life is a joke? That some people are just less evolved? And maybe the most powerful messages are the ones that hide in the things we never thought to question. So no, the Hillbilly Bears wasn't erased. It was recycled. Maybe the real joke was on the audience.
Come away, Shag. You know better than to bother your Paul when he's a feuding with the hoppers.
We grew up, but the messages didn't. Cartoons don't have to preach to teach. Sometimes all it takes is repetition, wrapped in laughter. And maybe, after all this time, it's not about why the show kept airing, it's about why we never stopped airing shows like it. That's it for this file. We're classifying it as a sketchy cartoon. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and click on the bell so that you don't miss what we uncover next. Thanks for watching. Please join us next time on The Maybe Files.
Boomerang.
Excuse me, do you know how to get to downtown?
Well, first you go to Memorial, then you take a left on Boulevard, and Hey! Hey!
How this ever happened to you? But it's time you follow Paul.
Excuse me, do you know how to get to downtown?
Well, first you...
Thanks.
Follow Paul, the complete audiobook that will teach you how to talk just like Paul. From the makers of Italian for the Deaf and Moroccan as a 44th language. It's great for company speeches.
Any questions?
Why are you reducing our salaries?
Well, the main reason is it comes in 40 easy-to-learn audio cassettes. You can listen while you sleep.
Dad, who are the main inhabitants of the Pleistocene era?
Follow Paul and make your life a whole lot easier because normally